Reptiles and amphibians have fascinated me for a long time. Each time I went to nature, I've had my eyes opened and kept searching for them. Their incredible diversity and ability to adapt and live under various conditions made me want to get to know more about them and see various species in the wild. I've spent a lot of time in the field here in the Czech Republic and observed most of the species we have here. And now, the time for my first major expedition to search for snakes, frogs and other critters abroad came. It's 2025, spring, and me and my friends, Matouš, Karel and Martina, are meeting at the airport in Prague. As our destination, we chose an interesting country in Central Asia, where not many herpers nor birders come. The time has come. We are leaving for the capital city of Uzbekistan, Tashkent.
So this is our accommodation here in Tashkent. We will be staying here for like 2 days, and in the time we are going to check the city and find some birds, hopefully in the Botanical Garden, which is the place we are heading in right now.
Tashkent, with more than 3 million inhabitants, is a very alive and vibrant place. There are not many remarkable historical landmarks out there, so most of the tourists avoid it and continue to Samarkand or Bukhara immediately after arrival to the country. Thanks to that, many local people that we met seemed to like that we stayed in their city for a few days, and we felt welcomed and very safe all the time. Although there is a very limited number of crossroads, Tashkent is really good for walking. People here don't care and cross the road simply anywhere. And along most of the roads, old and beautiful trees grow, providing shade in the hot days. Food here is very cheap, so we bought ourselves a breakfast in the local bakery.
Show us what you have for your breakfast.
I buy this. I don't know what is it, but
Is
it's
there
good.
something inside?
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
No. Decent for breakfast for like 20 crowns Czech. So very
It's
good.
like 10, like
So very good.
not so much. So bye bye. So we already saw some cool birds, and the most common out of them is the common myna, which is life to us. It's all around us.
We were nervously checking all the calls and sounds around us, waiting for some new birds to show up, and mynas weren't the only omnipresent birds. The laughing doves were calling from every other roof in the suburbs. They are much smaller than our doves from Europe, and some males tend to have a really nice rusty color. It was easy to get around with the public transport, and with the amazing historical subway and a few kilometers of walk, soon we made our way to the Tashkent Botanical Garden.
We arrived in the Botanical Garden. It looks quite amazing. This part not that much, but the center is much more beautiful, and we hope to see some cool animals.
In the hot temperatures, this place is a great spot to hide in from the heat, so the garden was full of people, but still we managed to observe some wildlife that was new to us. We even managed to observe the legendary azurtids, and thanks to the technique called fishing, we had a great look at them. The subspecies from Central Asia has a little yellow spot on the chest, so it's not the classic azurtid we knew from books, but still an amazing find. The pale female of a rufous-backed redstart was much rarer find. And the last addition to our bird list for the day was the white-winged woodpecker. Even though we didn't expect it, we already managed to see 3 herb species that inhabit the garden, 2 of which we managed to film. Uzbekistan, as mostly a desert country, has a very limited number of amphibian species. few species of toads of the Buffotes genus can be found throughout the country, and the marsh frogs, which we already knew from Europe, live in most of the suitable freshwater habitats. Here in Tashkent, we observed them during their typical reproductional behavior. The males were calling and fighting against each other.
So we just saw our first reptile of the trip, Ablepharus deserti, the little skink species that likes to live in these fallen leaves. And it's just a little brown lizard, and I might have managed to film one footage, but I will see if I can show you.
In the fallen leaf litter, something moves quickly. It's a little desert snake-eyed skink, Ablepharus deserti. It's a master of camouflage, and it can hide itself even in the tiniest spaces between the leaves. Their legs have shrunk to the tiny size during evolution, and so, most of the time, they combine walking with kind of slithering in between the leaves. Even though the name suggests something different, these little reptiles can inhabit almost any suitable habitat, where they can live their secretive lifestyle. Desert snake-eyed skinks definitely don't live in the desert only.
So this is our car we rented. It's huge, we didn't expect it, but let's hope the locals won't judge us, and soon we are going to head down south to the mountains, and I can't wait to go there. Now we bought all the groceries, and now we will put it into our car and then finally go to find some birds and snakes.
I wish we had more time to stay in Tashkent and explore more of it. I felt very well out there, but we came to see some of the natural wonders of the country. With our new car and most of the organizing work done, we could leave this populated place behind and head down south for what we hoped was going to be a beautiful and pristine area, down there by the borders with Tajikistan. For the first 2 hours, we drove through the land that was full of fields. Not many places in Uzbekistan are as fertile as the lowlands around the country's capital. Agriculture here is very intensive, and the landscape seems to be a bit dead from the window of the car. Despite this, our hopes to see new bird species were high, and we were scanning through the fields, which additionally paid off.
Šikra sparrowhawk. That's cool.
Nejenom šikra.
Only šikra, not sparrowhawk. Můžeme třeba fungovat to převědělání.
We spotted a beautiful male shikra on the power line. What a beautiful and gentle bird of prey. And this was not even the most beautifully colored one we had seen during the whole trip. It was just around dusk when we started venturing into the mountains. We had a spot picked, we drove there, built our tents, and fell asleep pretty quickly, full of excitement about the days that were about to come.
We just woke up at this amazing habitat. I mean, look at this. I'm so amazed, and I really can't wait to go out and herp, but now we are planning to go to another spot just like 4 kilometers from this one, and we are gonna herp there. But first, let's flip these tiles, or what do we have here?
To budu typovat, já budu catcher, bee catcher.
Můžeš taky flipovat asi. Ty pičo, ber. Hezky. Wow, so we got a beautiful glass lizard. Mám to zaplý?
Ne, jo.
Yes. Wow,
Nice.
It's beautiful. I haven't seen these guys for Like a long time. Nevím, co s ním mám udělat, aby jsem se hrozně rád fotil, ale...
Je na chvilku, ještě nemáš zbalený stan.
Jo, tak chcem to doflipovat.
Já to taky, já to doflipuju tady pár kousů dodám podle mě.
Tak já ho zatím zabalím do...
Další bavor.
Wow, good job.
Another glass is bigger. What? This is
Can I have it?
better one, I think.
Look at these. Great job.
Nice.
In the grasslands and rocky areas of Central Asia, an animal without limbs, but still not a snake, lives. The European glass lizard, also called sheltopusik, is the largest legless lizard species to inhabit our planet, with adult individuals overgrowing a size of 1 meter commonly. People often mistake them with snakes, and sadly sometimes kill them because of that. However, there are a few features that make it easy to distinguish them from snakes. In most snakes, the head is visibly wider than the rest of the body, whereas the sheltopussik's head blends smoothly into its body without a distinct division. Snakes never blink because they lack eyelids. Their eyes are covered by a protective scale that they shed along with the rest of their skin. Glass lizards, on the other hand, can blink just like many other lizards. The distribution of this species is wide and covers not only Central Asia, but also Balkan Peninsula, Caucasus region, and certain parts of the Middle East too. Sheltopussiks eat insects, snails, isopods or any other prey that they find. They can hunt even for small reptiles and rodents. They search for their prey actively, slowly but surely slithering around, carefully looking around and flashing with their tongues. Glass lizards are very common in most of the localities and often bask out in the open, so it's fairly easy to find them. We released both reptiles back under their tin and finally continued up into the mountains of Zomin National Park. Habitat kept changing with the rising elevation until we ended up in a beautiful valley full of rocky slopes. We were walking around and carefully checking these, which paid off. Not long after our arrival, I heard Matouš calling.
So there's a fucking snake. Můžu tam jít? Kde ho vidíš?
Tady. Pod mým hákem. Víš co? To je.
To je možná Diona, kámo. Jo, je to užovka. Yes. Yes! So we have our first snake. I'm really happy with this find. It was quite quick and we found our first snake, and this is Elaphe Diona. I didn't expect to find this species. It lives all throughout like Asia, from Korea up to Ukraine or Azerbaijan or something like that. It's very widespread, but I don't think it's that common. It lives quite secretively, and I didn't give it a chance that we would find a snake, and here we have it just like 10 minutes after stepping out of the car. And this is a baby, it's in shed, so the pattern can be sealed as well, but a beautiful, beautiful gentle snake, as you can see. It's absolutely not aggressive, not trying to bite or anything.
This country is home to 18 or 19 snake species, and finding the first one during our first day of herping was really motivating. This individual was extremely calm. We observed it for a while and took a few pictures, and then we let it slither back onto its little spot where we found him originally.
It was an amazing start of our herping session here, but now the storm or the rain is coming, so we are gonna get some lunch and hide into the car. But the place here is just amazing.
Discovering this area was an amazing experience. Even though we could still see a lot of snow on the tops of the mountains, spring was on in our elevations, and so we found perhaps my favorite animal of the trip so far.
So we have a beautiful, beautiful big Elaphe Diona. Matouš spotted. I walked around it and
Yes.
wow, This morning when we found the juvenile steep snake, I was like over the moon. It was amazing, and I was actually afraid that we were not gonna see any snakes on this trip, but it's the first day and we already have two. And now this afternoon when Matouš turned up this amazing adult, freshly shed and quite giant, I don't think that they get any bigger, steep snake. It is amazing. I mean, look at this, it's just perfectly fits into the habitat of the grasslands here, and it's quite amazing. Couldn't be happier.
This steep snake is a generalist, and not only that its range is incredibly wide, but it can also be found in a variety of habitats and elevations. Its type locality lays in the lowlands of central Kazakhstan, while we found it here, almost 2000 meters above the sea level in the Rocky Mountains of Uzbekistan. Open grasslands, however, are among the best places for them. With their calm nature, slow movements, and cryptic yet beautiful coloration and patterning, they are one of the most iconic and well-adapted species, occupying this type of habitat. They prey on rodents, reptiles, and often eat bird eggs. This species is not considered endangered in most of its range, thanks to its adaptability and tolerance for many habitat types. It's widespread in the eastern part of Uzbekistan.
Je to má Twitterku, tady. Spíš ten. Jaký? Je to tam? Šcink, krátkonožka. Oh shit, ale to je jiná, kámo. To je ta hezká Panonicus.
Nice.
Wow, so we got a Blepharus Panonicus, I think it is. Yes, it looks different than the deserty from Tashkent, right?
Yes, I think so.
It doesn't have even a glimpse of red, and it's much darker. Striky. We have our lifer amphibian, which is supposed to be a green toad actually, but it's very brown. I'm almost like confused, is it a species or not? But I can see the spots under the mud on the body. And this is Buphotes pevzovi, or at least the complex or the species of Buphotes pevzovi. There are multiple multiple taxons of these green toads, but they can be recognizable by eye. So, and there was a snake-eyed skink. So, cool.
We are waking up in the amazing scenery of the Zomin National Park. Being one of the most popular tourist destinations for Uzbeks within their country, some parts of the area are filled with cars and mountain enjoyers. But it really is enough to drive 2 more kilometers along the muddy road, and suddenly you find yourself alone in one of the vastest and most pristine areas you have ever visited. This was our second and last morning here, as we have thickened off all the birds we wanted to see and exceeded our expectations when it comes to finding reptiles.
Okay guys, so here in this crevice we have an agama, Paralaudakia bochariensis, I think it is. And this is already the 4th one, I think, we've seen in these crevices. I'm quite surprised that we don't see them out, because this is a perfect weather for basking, I think. Maybe they are just very shy and run away before I can see them. But it's quite a beautiful species. I don't think you can see it, but I can, and it's great.
Goodbye, Zomin National Park. Now we are continuing to the grassy hills and valleys of the Samarkand region. It was truly amazing here, but as we are moving southwest, I feel that the real herping adventure starts just now. In the next days, we will be searching in a habitat where deadly venomous cobras or endemic and colorful vipers live. See you next time.